The following show contains a fictional narrative that includes themes, events, and language that some may find distressing. Discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. It is I, Libby, purveyor of small headphones and remaining very, very calm. Today, we've got a fantastic session laid out. It's going to be a beautiful time. We are once again within the landscapes that can't do the thing, which means they're impossible. And we've got a whole crew of folks here that they're always here, but they're always great. Introduce yourselves, as always. Off the top, baby.
What's up, everybody? I'm Ty. You may also know me as Agent Millstone, Deputy Marshal Reed Hollis.
Hey everyone, I'm Charlie. I'll be playing Adam Blackburn, aka Agent Meridian.
Hey y'all, this is Andy. I will be playing Dr. Alexander Shoemaker, FBI forensic psychiatrist, also known as Agent Merchant.
And I, your good friend Hawk, will be playing Agent Miranda, aka Heather Stoddard, aka Hannah Cardholder, sometime mathematics and computer consultant for the NSA, FBI, and Delta Green, currently on the verge of panicking about axes.
And I'm Steve Harvey. All right, if we can get the recap from Hawk, please. Thank you.
Absolutely. We began our last episode on the roof of our hotel, the Mossy Green, where we discovered that we had emerged from a waking dream or awoken from a dream of dancing, perched on the warm summer rooftop of our hotel. A hotel we had the prior night left due to some flooding and other issues, but seemed unable to remain away from far. Some strange gravity pulling us back, and especially because Agent Merchant was experiencing the effects of his sleep aids and exhaustion was setting in for all of us, we collapsed in our rooms downstairs, experiencing vivid and horrifying nightmares of our fellow agents attacking us, of children drowning in the ensuite bathroom of the hotel room, waking up tired, angry, annoyed, sad. We decided to split up to do our research for the day. The agents decided to split into groups to do some research, with Agents Merchant and Miranda heading across to the New York Public Library and City Hall. There, Agent Merchant delved deeper into the pages of A World Without Doors, a novel recovered from the McAllister Building, while Agent Miranda looked deeper into the history of the McAllister Building as well as its owners, occupants, and builders. While that research was going on, Meridian and Millstone dealt with their personal lives, visiting or at the very least spying on their supposed loved ones. During the course of research, it was discovered that A World Without Doors was the story of a young woman, a girl, who traveled to a secondary fantasy realm that was run by a wonderful and horrible music created by a particular strange phantom. She traveled to this world by drowning herself, a detail which became eminently relevant as we discovered during the research of the architect of the McAllister Building. You see, the architect of the McAllister Building, one Asa Severin Darabandi, was discovered to have a predilection for drowning children. He disappeared late in his life, around 1960, was reported dead by his mother, but not until he was discovered to have drowned several children, believed to be as many as 20 or 30 by some authors, some biographers. He had built the McAllister in 1921 for a wealthy New Yorker named Henry Lundeen. Mr. Lundeen died of a stroke in 1952, discovered on the grounds of his home as if he had fallen down the upper stairs wearing a plasticky robe and a white papier-mâché mask. The house at that time was divided up into apartments, the Lundeen House as it was called, and it was purchased later by a group called Art Life, run by a woman named Cynthia LaChance, which brings us more or less to the present day. These details intertwining suggested to us that there was a particular relevance of Asa Darabandi, especially given that we had seen a Henry Lundeen and an A. Darabandi elsewhere already, within the corridors of the night floors. Research completed, families observed, friends identified. We gathered for dinner at a small Chinese restaurant near our hotel. We discussed the fact that we believed that the McAllister house contained something like a point of entry to the night floors and also a kind of contagion, something that had once killed Henry Lundeen and had infected the current inhabitants of the McAllister and was threatening to infect us as well. Something that our employers at the program would desire to be shut away or destroyed if possible. As we turned towards that dread conclusion, we noticed that the door was swinging open in a breeze. Standing to observe the door of the Chinese restaurant, we found that it led not back into the Manhattan streets, but instead into the winding, cramped bookshelf corridors of one of the McAllister apartments. Gathering ourselves together, following the terrible cries of Agent Meridian's mother seemingly echoing through that doorway, we plunged once more into the McAllister. We saw a sight familiar and disturbing in its alienness. A woman we had just met, Michelle Van Fitz, hoisting a tomahawk and charging directly at Agent Miranda and the rest, intent on violence and with mad eyes wide. And that's where we left off, as I recall.
The red lights in here, which are still coming from somewhere but no one really knows where, are doing this odd dance across the body of what seems to be a frantic, enraged woman running at you with a tomahawk. The scene is already stressful enough as it is, but the red light is making this thing very, very troublesome. You are concerned. You are highly concerned. And your life is in danger. And so we're going to enter combat now. As Van Fitz runs across the room with a tomahawk, aiming for, it seems to be Miranda, who has just entered her bedroom area. First up in the order is Merchant, and I guess just for everybody's, for our listening audience, we've got Van Fitz's apartment. Both Meridian and Miranda have decided to move to Van Fitz's bedroom area. Miranda has steps inside, and Meridian is right behind Miranda, kind of on the cusp of entering the room. So both Millstone and Merchant, you're kind of just inside the quote unquote front door, right from the Chinese restaurant where you walked in, around 10 feet from Meridian and then Miranda. So you all can't, I guess both Merchant and Millstone notably, you cannot see Van Fitz. There's a wall there of her bedroom. But you can certainly hear the sound of running. You see Miranda and of course Meridian making some movements that seem to be indicative of combat. So with that, Merchant, what would you like to do? You're up first.
Yeah, Merchant is going to run to the door, clear that 10 feet or so, while pulling his pepper spray out, and just try to neutralize the threat. Lean right in and just put a full blast into, then seeing Van Fitz running, just put a full blast of a cone of pepper spray.
Okay.
So I'll roll that against my dexterity, and I rolled a 47 under 60.
She did not do very well in the Dodge neighborhood. You step inside the room and you manage to kind of step around the beefcake in the door, and you see Miranda, and you hear the sound of this pepper spray, this mace going off, right in the face of Van Fitz, and she definitely is discombobulated. But at this point in time, she's still moving at you. She's no longer, focused right on your face with this tomahawk, but she's going to meet you, just a little less graceful. But she is definitely discombobulated. And there's like a technical thing that says minus 20% to all of her.
Yeah, 20% penalty for all of her actions for an hour.
Tear gas and pepper spray don't feel very nice, but they make the entire room kind of unusable for a bit. So while you're not like, incapacitated, none of you are incapacitated, Miranda, you're fine, and same with Merchant, you're certainly coughing and uncomfortable, maybe tearing up a little bit. Pepper spray in a small space like this is tough. So all narrative stuff, no technical stuff there. Okay, Millstone, you are up next. You just saw this happen. You saw pepper spray, and you're coughing a little bit maybe too, but not as bad as they are.
Scale my way also around the beefcake, and I am going to try to skirt off to the side and flank Van Fitz from the side on which she is holding her weapon, and use my unarmed combat skill to attempt to disarm her, a skill in which I am highly trained due to my profession, so I'm going to be rolling against an unarmed combat skill of 80%.
Neat. Okay, neat. Yeah, right? She will roll as well.
82, dude. Damn.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's see.
But she has a chance of failure also, no?
Yeah, so she rolled a 13 here, which is still a pass even with her 20 or minus 20. You step around the corner and you don't really realize how much this pepper spray has permeated, and so when you step into the room, you get a big gust of it in your face, and there's a lot of stuff happening. Your eyes kind of start blinking. You see Van Fitz coming in. You kind of reach up blindly to grab the weapon. It just skids kind of down your arm on the outside of your arm and is still generally en route to Heather's face. But notably, the room is kind of now just like, well, I guess Merchant, when you leaned, did you just lean in and then lean back out, or did you like kind of step in and then shoot, or how did that go? I did quite catch that.
Yeah, kind of as far as he could make it into the room, and as soon as he had a clear shot.
Got it. And did you
where he wouldn't blast? I don't think I would have enough action left to do that.
So now it's kind of this like weird puddle of Merchant coughing and kind of looking around, and Miranda still like very concerned, rubbing eyeballs, and now Reed is in the room and is kind of, you bumped into Miranda. It's all very awkward, and Van Fitz is still charging. Meridian, it is your turn. You, I think, are the last one who's not like in the room in some way. You're basically on the door of the room, so you're seeing all this clump of people happen. And I would think also notably that this pepper spray is maybe a little less troublesome for you, seeing as how you've probably been tear gassed or pepper sprayed or CS gassed before with your experience in what you did. So anyway, what would you like to do?
Take aim and fire.
Okay. You definitely know. So you're using your shooting, or are you aiming?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, just firing.
Okay, gotcha. Great. I will say that if you take this shot, it's going to be if you roll poorly, you're probably going to shoot somebody else. It's all just kind of that's how combat always is. Combat is always just kind of a puddle of people trying to do something that's better than the other guy. So yeah, but you can take the shot. Do you still want to?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, do you think? Let's go.
3.
3.
Let's fucking go.
Damn. Oh wow. So maybe like the pepper spray kind of like, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, like yeah, you like get all riled
Smells
up.
like
invigorating.
Oh yeah, like smelling salts. You step into the room. And Bree's just kind of like there, and so you just kind of like grab him, push him out of the way a little bit, and just shove your pistol right up under his armpit, kind of. You just let loose. All of you just immediately ringing like no ringing you've ever ringed before. It's tinnitus immediately, including Van Fitz, by the way. But roll damage as well by the Meridian. What did you do to Van Fitz here?
3.
Okay, yeah, that's
It's a respectable 3.
Downvote. Okay, all right. So you take the shot. You hit her right in the shoulder. Unfortunately, it was the incorrect shoulder, or rather the one that she's like not using to hold the hatchet. She's the lefty. You take the shot. You definitely see that this kind of interesting that the inertia and the momentum kind of interacts oddly as she's putting all of her force forward and gets this splash of energy in her shoulder and kind of does a little recoil while still moving forward. Maybe it's awkward so that her hatchet hand is kind of out in front of her. And at this point, it's going to be just a pile on the floor because she is no longer. She still has a general direction she's running. Can't see. Isn't trying to attack much. Just bumbling forward. So it's gonna be ground time in a moment. And actually, right now is the time that it's ground time. It's her turn. She moves forward and just bowling pins into you. I think she connects most like they're on a date. No, she certainly makes the connection or hits. It's all date talk. Miranda, you both are kind of in this awkward hug together for a moment. If you wouldn't mind rolling me Dex times 5 to see kind of how you're doing with staying upright.
09 under 40.
Nice. Okay, great. And she 52. So she in fact under a number, and so or over a number rather. Sorry. So she bumbles into you. You manage to kind of like catch her awkwardly. She kind of slides down off of your body. You step backwards a little bit. So you're in this this bump with, I guess it'd be Meridian and Millstone. You're kind of all very close together. But you manage, and she kind of hits the ground. She's on her knees a little bit. The hatchet drags down your pants and does cut your pants on the left seam, down that left outer seam. And it's frightening, to be frank. This tomahawk looks to be it's got this very old Native American thing going on, so you weren't really sure. It looks kind of more like a relic, but it's very sharp. I mean, it just like right through that seam of your pants. She's now kind of on all fours at the feet of the majority of the group. She's coughing and wheezing and screaming through this and trying to get up and a lot of that on the floor. But she's definitely down there now. It's your turn. You're still standing, and she kind of bubbled into you.
Is she like thrashing around with a hatchet in a way that would be dangerous, or is she like somewhat pacified or wounded enough she's not attacking? What's
Great question. I'm imagining kind of like when you forget there's the bottom step at the end of the stairs, and so she's like shocked. She didn't know she was going to hit you, and she just fell over very awkwardly into you. And so now she's on the floor. You guess it would take her probably, if she's certainly a lot less scary the way that she currently is. The pepper spray did a lot.
So Miranda panics. She like grabs the shelf next to her and she like scrabbles at it, like half trying to climb it, half trying to pull it over as a barricade or on top of the woman in front of her, and just like ends up pressed against it. I rolled a 61 over 30 for athletics.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely you don't get the bookshelf to come down. You do get a number of books that fall off the shelf and onto the feet of your friends, but mostly the back of Van Fitz.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are particularly heavy. There's no Encyclopedia Britannicas here. They're all a little bit strange, and maybe you all have a moment where you do get to see what the books fall open. There's definitely a full length. You know how if you open a book like you're reading it, turn it this way, and there's a full length art. Sorry, the book is left to right. There's an image utilizing every square inch of both pages of the book in portrait mode. That in fact is a clown, a very large clown. Same as the one you saw in the park. Got these weird geometric things going on, eye slits. It's very odd. All of it's very odd. And again, it's the same thing you saw before. Another book opens and you begin to hear the Saints go marching in. It's not a music book, but there's music coming from it. There's what seems to be a very large roll of salami that has somehow fallen from the bookshelf and is now on the floor near Van Fitz. It's all a very odd couple of seconds as you realize what's going on, and maybe not realize. And then we are back up at the top of the turn. We've got Merchant. So again, real puddle of people at this point in time. Van Fitz is on the floor on all fours, is regaining, like gathering what she needs to presumably attack from the floor or get up or whatever. But she's kind of, dismayed on the floor.
So Merchant is going to stomp at Van Fitz's hand holding the hatchet to try to kick the tomahawk or the hatchet away from her. And so that's going to be an unarmed combat roll. Looks like we have 38 under the base of 40. So
okay.
In theory, I connect.
Yeah, in theory you do. Yeah, you do. You connect with her hand. She just either doesn't know that needs to move out of the way, or she doesn't. So you connect. You feel under your shoe as you break at least 2 fingers. They both kind of crunkle, actually, under the weight of your dress shoe, the hard heel of your dress shoe.
May I make part of the same action, kicking that hatchet away from the group, or away from her, in a way that doesn't kick it into the group?
You could, but it would be kind of the last flourish of action and energy you had. So I would say that it would be less directed. So there's more chance it'll go into the group.
Okay, still gonna do it.
Great. Roll luck.
47 luck.
Sweet. You kick the hatchet. It, I guess, skitters away on the floor toward one of the walls, one of the bookshelves. She is now is kind of a bubbling mess on, babbling mess on the floor. As Millstone, is your turn.
So I'm like all up in the guts of this kerfuffle, am I not?
You are. As all of our fans would say, you are all up inside the guts of this kerfuffle.
Dude, nothing like the look of disgust on Hawk's face. That was beautiful.
Good. It was shock first. I got to watch that. So
then,
sorry, just to be clear, you've got under your left arm, you have a Meridian gun hand, and you've got a merchant on one side of you. Yeah. And then Vandit is kind of at your feet.
I'm gonna unholster my taser and just jam it right up under her rib and just fucking zap her.
Is that a taser or a stun gun? And is it a distance thing or a close up thing?
It is an X26P taser brand taser.
Nice. Okay, great. Yeah, so you do what's called a dry stun, or you turn it on but don't deploy the projectiles. Just turn it on right underneath her in her ribs. I don't know what that weapon does. Does she like stun damage, right?
It's another 20.
Wow.
For 1d20 turns, which I will happily roll right now.
That's pretty good. Yeah, she doesn't have enough wherewithal
in my pile. It's a 15.
Wow, it's pretty good. Okay, so she, for the foreseeable future, is both feeling the effects of pepper spray and of a taser. So that's not good for her.
I'm beginning to think it would have been nicer if we just shot her.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
It's Meridian's turn. It's Meridian's turn. We don't.
Yes. Yeah.
That's true. The combat is young.
Meridian, would you like to add insult to injury on your turn?
Yes, I would like to steel-toed tip boot to her teeth.
Steel-toed tip boot to the tippy teeth. Go for it. Do that thing. This time she does. She definitely will. She's a little bit on the defensive now. Her arms are kind of flailing, trying to catch whatever attack is going to come next. So she will try to get out of the way.
25.
Yeah, that'll work. She did not roll very well, especially with that minus 40. She almost got 100. So you definitely connect. Are you trying to kick her in the chin, or what's the premise here, or where are you going for?
I don't like Van Fitz. That's all I want.
Yeah, no, I think that's
just want to hurt Van Fitz.
Pretty clear, I think. At this
are you trying to kick her teeth out, or in?
Out in.
A little bit of
teeth in. Okay, great.
The answer is yes.
Great. Roll luck for me,
3.
please. Would you please, Meridian? I have a fun idea. That's my job here. Fun idea, man.
14.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice. You kick her in the mouth, and you definitely disconnect a couple of teeth, and you hear that she starts choking on the floor now, presumably on her teeth and whatever amount of pepper spray is in her throat. She's just like choking. Clearly aspirating. It is
like choking as in she's on her way to dying, or choking as in...
Oh no. Yeah, if does not receive Heimlich, or I think it's now called the rear thrust.
Mm-hmm.
Will look it up. Hey.
The family doesn't want the name associated anymore.
The what thrust?
The rear. I think it's called the rear thrust, or like rear emergency thrust, or something like that. Like the added emergency.
I'll give her the Heimlich, but I ain't giving her the rear thrust. Okay, I'll tell you that right now.
Well, you have it. There is a doctor, but I gotta wait my turn, unless we're out of combat now because she's dying.
No, I don't think so. I think that Van Fitz has one or two things left within her. Anyway, the rear thrust will need to be administered to Van Fitz, likely in a short period of time, or she will expire. She will lose air. Her head is turning this purple and blue. So now it's her turn. She is... Wow, yeah. I didn't know she'd be this sad. Jesus.
Roll death saving.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe.
Right, now's the time. Yeah, she... Oofta. She definitely... So I think at this point, you could see I guess probably Miranda, you can see she forces her eyes open and she's trying to look around for anything in the room that she could use to defend herself, unchoke herself, and then that kind of that frantic, like, I gotta do something. And so she's looking around. You see that she keys in on something that is under the bed that you're kind of right by. And she starts crawling on the floor toward the bed. And she reaches under the bed to grab something. You're not sure. She doesn't really have the willpower to get whatever's under the bed out this turn, but she's got it. She connects. You can see she like grabs something and begins to start pulling it. It seems like it's heavy. Nothing else that she does on her turn. You all see now. You kind of got some space to breathe. That she's crawled away a little bit to the bed, just grabbed something from under the bed, and it's Miranda's turn at this point in time. I say 3 or 4 feet away from you, still on the floor.
Great. I'm going to go stand on the arm she's got under the bed. I'm just going to stand on it. Like, not really anything fancy here. Like, cursing, like, panicking. I'm just going to go stand. I don't know what she's grabbing. Something heavy? I'm standing on her wrist.
Okay.
Not in a stomping on it way, just, like, pinning it down.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, you put your foot on her wrist. We want to have you roll anything. She's pretty feeble at this point in time. You've got her wrist pretty well pinned down. Okay. Yeah, I believe we're mostly out of combat here, except for the fact that whatever's under the bed has been grabbed. So we'll go back. We'll do one more here. Merchant, you're up. It's the top of the round, and you see that Miranda has a foot on Van Fitz.
And I can see that clearly she's also dying. Like, she's illogically still able to do things and plan her life, but she's also dying.
Has Merchant witnessed death?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then you're aware that, like, death looks different. Sometimes death is extremely painful and extremely drawn out, and people just won't die. Other times it's really, really, really simple and very easy and very clear and all these nice things. Van Fitz is operating on so much willpower, so much just survival instinct, animalistic. So you gather that she'll be dead pretty quick, but she's probably got, this round and maybe some amount of next that she'll be able to kind of just subsist on willpower alone.
In that case, seeing this snaps Merchant out of his, we're being attacked, and delves deeply into his motivation to do no harm. And so he's going to surge forward to her and actively administer first aid. Miss Van Fitz, I'm going to give you the Heimlich. You're choking, and give her the Heimlich. Because in his mind, she doesn't realize she's crazy or something. She doesn't know what's going on.
So I will say, it might be difficult to give her the Heimlich at this point. She's really on the floor, totally on her stomach. And so you're going to have to, like, it's going to be pretty tough for you to give any meaningful amount of Heimlich, unless you at least, like, kind of get her up a little bit so you can get behind.
Yeah, that's true. I will try. Then just step one then is just the swat to the back, the attempt to dislodge whatever's going on in her throat. And so he'll at least administer that. If we have to get her up, then it's going to take a little more effort with the person standing on her arm and stuff. But he'll at least attempt to dislodge with some sharp blows to the back.
Okay. Yeah, roll first aid.
15 under 60.
You probably all, I think, I would assume, if I'm wrong, correct me, Merchant, but it seems like maybe a noticeable demeanor switch has happened as Merchant walks over and... Yeah, in his mind, the first thing was panic over we're in danger. Now he's seeing this person's in danger, and he goes into doctor mode. Nice. Yeah, you deliver a couple of decent blows. You see that she seems to do a little bit of regurgitation, but is still actively choking. Yeah. You may have bought her some time. You may not have. It's hard to tell. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We need to get her up. Okay, great. Then my action's done. All right, Millstone. You were up. Instead of the puddle of people being standing up, they're mostly kind of all on the ground at this point. Well, that's not true. At least Merchant has kind of kneeled down and is trying to render aid, and Miranda has her foot still on the hand, the unseen hand of Van Fitz. What do you want to do?
Merchant's gonna go for whatever's in her hand. He's gonna try and grab that heavy thing.
Okay.
You just called yourself Merchant.
Meant to. Just kidding. Millstone is gonna do that. Merchant is gonna keep doing whatever he's doing.
Nice. Breed pulls out a gun like, now what you're gonna do, Merchant?
I'm the merchant now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Merchant of Death.
No. You walk over and you're bending down to kind of reach under the bed alongside her.
Correct.
Okay, got it. You reach down to kind of alongside her to grab whatever she's getting at, and it seems like she has. As you look under the bed, the red light is still filtering, and you're not sure what's. There's some kind of fluid on the floor under the bed, a good amount of it, and she has. It looks like she has broken a very large glass item and has a very large shard of glass in her hand. And so when you bend down to get to her hand, she drives this piece of glass towards you.
Cool. So is that going to be an unarmed combat contested roll there?
Yeah, unless you want to. Yeah, I think so. What you got?
It's a 72 under 80.
Okay. She rolled an 8, which I believe means that you succeed, correct?
That means I succeed,
yeah, correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
The higher, if they both win, the higher succeeds.
Yes. So I know that usually doesn't matter, right, how much or little you succeed by, but just for funsies.
It's a narrative tool.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's my game. You, as this glass shoots at your head, you manage to get out of the way in time. But you manage to get a pretty nice at-home ear piercing as it kind of rips a portion of the rear of your ear a little bit. But you now, and like I said, when you went under there to look and to grab whatever she had, you see that whatever you thought was heavy, maybe this big glass thing was heavy, but it's not anymore. And then she now and after doing that, she kind of had to turn her body around a little bit, so she's kind of on her side on the floor more so than her stomach now. And you can see that red liquid is likely blood. She's bleeding pretty bad from her hand and wrist where she presumably smashed this glass thing. It would not take a merchant to tell you that her death is extremely imminent, likely like in a matter of seconds.
And on that note, it's Meridian's turn.
It indeed is Meridian's turn. And I guess maybe a little bit showing my hand, but I guess I am curious to see what happens next, because I'm curious to see if Meridian is truly the cold, tactless killer, or if he believes that there is some value in interrogation or value in getting information from people instead of just murking them.
Okay, so one's on her wrist, right?
Yeah.
No,
The sum of her injuries at this point, there are many of them. She's been shot in the shoulder. She's clearly been lacerated multiple times on her hand and wrist area. She's bleeding heavily from there. Additionally, she's still kind of choking. At this point, you're not sure if she's hyperventilating, choking, or both. Her head is purple and blue, you think, based on the lights. Kind of hard to tell. She's clearly got petechiae in the eyes, as in she's having a hard time with breathing. She just looks generally malaise, like she's no condition to fight at all.
Okay, so she's incapacitated.
Yeah, sure, I think so. With the correction that there's a chance she could say or do something very minimally, but short of that, she's gone.
Okay, I'd probably look at Merchant and say, "Fixer, we need to talk."
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay.
And that's absolutely what Merchant will be doing is... Okay, she vomited. She can probably breathe at least a little. I need to stop the bleeding.
Okay. Yeah, let's...
24 under 60. First aid.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see if you have the shot. Okay. Yeah, you do. She... I think maybe she sees... I don't know. Compassion might be... too big of a word, but she sees the lack of killing in Meridian's eyes, rather. and it takes a second to focus on writing some portions of her body that she needs to write. You see she kind of slams her wrist against her shirt, like she's wearing kind of sweater shirt thing. Well, slams. She's very weak, but puts her wrist there to hopefully stop the bleeding, and she focuses on trying to get something out. Start coughing up more. So, and you assist. You kind of like, if you'd like, you prop her up a little bit, and making sure that you all have a shot on her. she's right here. But you prop her up and lean her forward a little bit and give some more taps, and you do see a tooth dislodges and flies out of her throat, hits the floor in front of her, and she's breathing normally now. Not normally. Big pained gasps, and kind of stuttery, and still looks a mess, but is no longer actively choking. I think she begins to cry. She kind of just begins to very, very quietly cry, and she's mumbling something. She's mumbling. She keeps repeating something over and over and over. You're not sure exactly what it is, but it is again. Still at death's door. Not confident she's going to make it very long. But she is not dying this turn. Merchant.
The choices are
more not dying.
Are few. It's try to make sure she doesn't die.
Okay.
So I'll continue. I mean, I don't have like my full medical kit or a full medical kit here, but with what first aid supplies I always carry on me, Merchant will be diving in, just trying to stop bleeding, raise arm, prevent shock. All those things, going back to his old days at Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Okay.
Yep. Studying to be a doctor.
Okay. Do the thing. Roll the thing with the thing.
Oh, heck yeah. 14. This is all going to come back and bite me later. But
very good.
I will take success.
Nice. Yeah. She even though you did a good job, she's still deteriorating. She gets worse now. Mm-hmm. You manage to kind of grab. You do, like you say, you elevate and try to like make sure she's not in shock, and maybe even grab some books and try to like stop bleeding with some pages or whatever. Mm-hmm. But she's the main thing is that she's bleeding heavily from her wrist. Clearly this is going to kill her. There's nothing else. Like this is her last round on Earth. This is her last round of wherever you are right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all, she's not gonna make it. There's too much blood. We need a hospital. And there's no way an ambulance gets wherever the hell we are. She's dying.
And I would say that kind of those words from Merchant transitions right into Millstone's turn, where he turns to Meridian and says, I mean, if that's the case, why not just put her out?
Done. And we'll stick my Glock in her mouth and pull.
You should do it in the mouth?
Jesus.
Goddamn.
Oh,
Jesus.
She going out and stuff.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
What?
All right.
Oh, what did you just...
Yeah. All right, so we are gonna, believe it or not, we're gonna make a sand roll. Everybody, including Meridian, I would like a sand roll, please. Thank you.
This show contains events and language which some viewers may find distressing.
Including a player.
Hashtag gun plus mouse, dog. Holy crap.
71 over 60.
Okay, we have una buena failure. Success.
51 over 55.
This is violence, right, Libby?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so adapted already.
Make sure that you do the adapted thing, though. Don't forget that. So we have a success from Miranda. What about Merchant and Millstone?
That is correct.
53 under 55. The first sand check I've made this entire campaign.
Nice. Very good. And Millstone?
Millstone rolls a 38 under 56, and Millstone is now adapted to violence.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. We love to see it. We'll deal with that in a moment. So all of you that succeeded, I guess in theory, only a couple of you will lose one. I guess that's wild. None of you lost any. Wow. All right. This is fucked. But also, I think maybe some part of it is like there is just a clear disconnection from reality. Like at this point, probably all of you are like, "Wow, that's fucked. Is this even real? I'm not sure. There's red light. What's going on?" So,
I mean, the seams of reality have been viscerally tearing before our eyes for the past 2 days.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
not
there's
far
not too bad.
removed.
There's a really good chance this isn't happening.
Yeah.
That's Merchant's thought.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a really good chance this isn't happening.
Yeah, work really hard to convince yourself that the woman you killed was not real. That's always a good idea. I
Whoa. That,
personally
you is a I just worked to save her.
sure.
So Merchant is drowning his minimal sand loss in absolute rage.
Nice.
And will actually, since he's right there, just shove Meridian to the ground.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
Will
baby.
he, though?
Roll athletics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's not athletics.
You gonna push beefcake?
I mean, just not
Pushing
like a
bees.
full, just like a frustrated just hit, not to do damage, but just like a, what are you doing?
Okay, got it. So it's directed. It's not like I gotta hit something. It's like I gotta hit this guy, right? Okay, cool. All right, great. Yeah. How much athletics do you have, Merchant?
The base of 30.
Fantastic. And Meridian, how much athletics do you have?
80.
Fantastic. Can we say so? Sorry, do you push him from the front or the back? By the way.
Just whatever's facing, just
Great.
like a hit, not even a full I'm trying to knock you down, but
Yeah, Meridian. I mean, I think that everybody in this party, as well as all our listeners, can tell that you don't really feel a whole lot.
How many people am I gonna try to save just to have you kill them? I mean, 2's not a big number, but it's sure bigger than anything I've ever seen before. What are you doing, Millstone? Why are you ordering an execution?
She was gonna fucking die anyway.
Yes, and she was gonna die of a self-inflicted laceration.
Yeah, so you'd rather watch her bleed out. You'd rather watch her bleed out than just fucking get turned off like a TV. You'd rather watch her kind of fade away in pain.
She's not in pain.
Oh,
She was mumbling incoherently. She was unconscious. She wasn't feeling any significant amount of pain. What kind of people are we? That this
So
is
if
just
it's
what
on
you
him,
do?
then what's the fucking difference?
I don't know. Do we know we're in the other place? Do we know that there aren't people who are going to come up and find that she's been killed very clearly with a pistol to the mouth? You want to set
The
this up to look
question-
like a suicide?
Remains the same. What difference does
four-
it make?
I don't want to be arrested.
Our DNA is already all over this room. We've been attacking this woman for 5 rounds of time.
My DNA is 1 minute. My DNA is absolutely nowhere in this room.
Good.
I will say that very cinematically, Heather, you look down thinking about DNA, and you see that there is just the ever so smallest matching color liquid that Van Fitz had that is trailing down your leg, right where that cut in your pants in that seam is.
Mhm.
Again, like the smallest little itty bitty thing. It's not actually a real problem, but you're definitely bleeding a little bit.
Sure. I'm gonna walk away from this conversation and find a kitchen sink to vomit in.
Nice. Yeah, you do that successfully. You find a kitchen sink to vomit in.
Nice. You don't want me to roll athletics to purge?
I don't. Yeah, no, I trust and
Roll on.
believe.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah,
Roll con.
I trust and believe you
Yeah,
purge
bureaucracy.
appropriately. Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, what do you mean? Like, what if we're, who fucking cares? We just came out of a Chinese restaurant to get here. Plead insanity.
Who cares?
For fuck's sake.
And if anything, she'll just come back up. She can't die like the other one.
We don't
I mean,
know
we
that.
haven't tested that hypothesis yet, but
I mean, worst case, I don't give
Sure.
a fuck.
Well, I do.
Good.
I'm not the kind of person who just executes people.
Good. You can leave that to me then.
she was gonna execute us, Merchant. I mean, like, at the end of the day here, I get it. Like, I'm sure you've
At the end of the day, I get it, but all of a sudden,
oath.
some weird stuff happens, and we get to shoot people in the head. People who are disarmed, people who are absolutely not a threat anymore.
She tried to kill us. We tried to disarm her. She was gonna die. We put her out of her misery. I don't see the fucking problem.
She cut Miranda and Millstone. Even if she was incapacitated, she was no use to us.
The threat was over.
Woof.
Miranda, while you're vomiting, you hear a book fall off the shelf out in the living room.
Okay. I run the water, wipe off my face, and then I walk into the living room, ignoring this conversation, trying to imagine it's not happening, that it'll fix itself, and I go look for the book.
Yeah, it's definitely a shouting match. I don't think without, I would take
definitely
some serious arguments from Millstone, Meridian, and Merchant to say that you heard anything that Heather was doing out there. You're all just kind of having a shouting match. You go over, there's a book has fallen off the shelf and is sitting open, and it is it's A World Without Doors on the floor. It is opened to a specific excerpt, and interestingly, it's kind of drawn, or it's written so that it's as if this single paragraph was clipped from the writing and then moved into the middle of the page, such that half of this paragraph is on the left page and half is on the right page. It's in the middle. The binding is in the middle of the paragraph. And I will go ahead and I'll send you the excerpt. If you prefer to read it to your compatriots whenever they're done shouting, you definitely can.
I'm done fucking talking about it unless Merchant still is going to harp on it. But at this point, Reed just doesn't give a fuck. This person was going to attack them, and obviously he's not someone who is gonna kill in cold blood. But if somebody is going to die anyway, yeah, he saw this as an old Yeller kind of situation.
Okay, so are you just gonna step out of the room into the kind of the kitchen, open floor plan living room area, or are you? What's Reed doing then?
Reed's not shy about what's going on right now. He's gonna fucking stand up and just sit down on the bed, right next to everything. Got it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe you look for a spot that has no brains, and so you find a little spot, and you have a seat. What about? I presume that Miranda is reading this excerpt. So what are? Yeah, and that all kind of happened at the same time. But Merchant and Meridian, what are y'all doing? Still arguing? Still yelling or what? Nice.
Yeah, no, I'm really figuring out what he would do. Probably go towards Millstone and say, still got one of them reds on you?
Yeah, so retroactively, Reed is definitely in the middle of fucking, man, he's flicking a piece of gray matter off of his hand and lighting up one of his cigarettes. This is kind of a moment where the sort of rapport he's been building up with Merchant throughout this campaign so far, it's this is the inciting event to where the disconnect between their inherent personalities comes in. Reed has killed before, and Reed understands the utility of killing, and so he's just lighting up a cigarette. He casually hands one over to goodness gracious,
Meridian.
I'm pretty sure you said Merchant at the beginning of that whole thing you just said, but I could be wrong.
He was talking about Merchant.
Yeah. I was saying the disconnect between myself and
gotcha. All right.
Merchant.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and Meridian will light up his camel red and just with the little blood that he has on his forehead, just slick back his hair and just, oh, baby, it's been a while.
I will say that briefly. Well, so I guess I'll give you the shot then. Miranda, do you definitely hear that the shouting is dying down, and you probably hear some conclusion, something like all right, well then fuck it, or one of those things. And so you have the opportunity to put the book back, put it under the bookshelf, whatever you want to do with it before they come out there. What do you want to do?
So we didn't resolve Merchant's actions at the end of that?
Don't worry. I promise you we will get there. It's a thing here. Yeah.
Yep. Understood.
I'm going to tear out the passage, the page or pages it's on, and I'm going to tuck it into my pocket, and then I'm going to close the book and put it on the shelf. And I'm going to walk into the living room and just stare at what's happening, stare at the dead body in the center of my fellow agents,
Okay.
and I'm going to wait for an opening to say something.
Okay, got it. Yeah, Merchant, when the shouting match ends and Meridian and Millstone exit the room, you're there still, kind of by yourself, and so you can do a number of things, obviously, but I will say that you notice as you're kind of maybe just looking around as they leave in exasperation, you see that there is a book on the shelf that is pulled out. You can see the cover of it. Children's book.
Just wanting to think of anything other than what just happened. Just going to grab the book.
Nice.
Is it little?
What?
Is it a red
little
book?
No, it is not.
Is
a
it
red
lead?
book. No. It's a little though. It is little. It's a pretty thin, like an illustrated hardcover kids book. The name of the book is Maud Goes to the Masked Ball. And so I can give you more information if you want. I will. I'll send you kind of a quick summary and little excerpt. If you want to it's not a very big book, but I'll send that to you so you can choose to share what you'd like to share about the book if you'd like. So it sounds like there's kind of a reconvening happening, certainly informally, in the living room.
It sounds to me like Merchant's looking at a kid's book, Miranda's tearing pages out of a not kid's book, and Millstone and Meridian are just fucking having a smoke on the bed.
Well, so I think that that's probably true, but I think it's tough because I think that that a lot of the things that Miranda was doing were happening while the kind of like quick argument was happening.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like that happened at the same time. Then I'm kind of thinking that you two kind of walked out. Merchant saw this book that's for him, and about that time was when Miranda was putting back her book. So that about now we have the Gun Boys. Thing 1 and Thing 2 are out on the couch, one of the couches, and then we have Miranda on another. Probably, from what it sounds like, kind of inside her own head a little bit. And then, and Merchant, you are still in the bedroom with the remains of Van Fitz, and Maud Goes to the Masked Ball. The mood is certainly somber, whether or not it's genuine sadness or if it's like confusion or. You probably just realized that the thing that comes next is you losing hope because you can't get out. Anyway, what happens next?
Are we covering Miranda, who has been sitting there, looks over, kind of like with an expression of distaste at everybody, but lingers on the two agents sitting on the couch smoking right next to the corpse and goes, "Are we covering this up, or are we just leaving it? If so, we should start cleaning, and you should stop fucking smoking."
It's not a fucking priority. We're in La La Land right now, aren't we?
We don't know that. We don't know how the consequences.
What do you want me to do with her?
Cleaning is a set of activities. We don't just do the corpse. We need to decide if we are cleaning up the corpse, parting it, what we're doing, and we need to decide if we are how we're handling the explanation if anyone runs into us. Because the other option is we just tell people she attacked us with an axe when we came by to ask some questions. We are federal agents who have a reason to be here. She attacked me with an axe. I have an axe wound on my ankle. She attacked Millstone with an axe. He has an axe wound on his wrist. If need be, Merchant can make them look worse than they are. If we want to, we do not have to clean. But if you guys are going to sit around and smoke, it's going to make it hard as hell to clean if we want to do that. So we need to fucking decide what we're doing. And I don't give a shit if you think we're in La La Land or not, because what we have learned is that there's not a big barrier or distinction between the fucking top floor of the McAllister and anywhere else, right? We walked out of it and there were cops. And I don't know about you guys, but even if we're in fucking La La Land, I'd rather be in La La Land without a fucking cop breathing down my neck every day and stuck in a cell, right? I would take wandering the fucking halls of hell over being stuck in a single room forever and ever. Amen. Meridian, don't act like you're not afraid of that, because we fucking talked about this, okay? We can act all laissez-faire, like, oh, we're in hell, it doesn't matter. We don't know how this shit works. We have to assume there are consequences, all right? So act like fucking adults and help me make a decision here. Are we going to tell them that she attacked us and let them do their own investigation and figure out what they want to figure out? Are we covering it up? Are we trying to hope it'll magically go away? Because if we're doing that, I got to buy a ticket to fucking Vietnam or some shit, because I'm not sticking around for the aftermath.
I think the question that you're asking here is, it's just a prelude to the real question that we have to ask ourselves. And I think it's a question that we've been either distracted from or putting off, right? Do I need to vocalize what that question is?
Sure, but there's We have no ability to answer that question. There is no conclusive test that will establish for me the parameters, the beginning and end of the space we entered, right? We could be in it now.
That's not the question I'm talking about.
What are you
The
fucking
question
talking
is-
about then?
I mean, what the fuck did we come here to do in the first place? Put yourself
Remove
back
the
in
threat.
that park 2 days ago, talking to Marcus. What did he tell us to do?
Scorched earth. Yeah.
Listen, if you want to just commit some light arson, fine. Won't be the first time. But if we're gonna do it, we should do it right, all right? None of this fucking around and leaving cigarette butts around in a non-smoker's apartment. Even if it all goes up, we don't know what burns, all right? I know you guys got fucking training in what arson looks like. Maybe not Meridian, but I fucking know that you did, Millstone, right? Burn patterns and shit, all right? So let's fucking think and let's do it right if we're gonna fucking do it.
All right,
And you know
well,
what?
then what's the right way to fucking do it?
Okay, we have a logical start point. There's an existing fire hazard in the building. The wiring in this place is old enough that an electrical fire is not impossible, but I want to point out that there are accelerants in the basement, a heavy number of them, to the point that it would not be impossible for a fire to start there. The next question we have to ask is, are we going to condemn everyone else who lives in this building to whatever fate may await them? Because if we go about this plan, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to kill those people. And I don't mean in a proactive way. If we don't do shit, we have to assume we're killing them. That they're in bed and they're not going to wake up and their lungs are going to fill with smoke and they're going to fucking die. Okay?
Well, I mean,
Or we
it's a
gotta-
conversation I don't even want to fucking entertain if this gives you a tummy ache. Because those people got the brainworms too, right? We talked to them. They're all fucked in the head.
We don't know that. We talked to one guy who is a weird fucking artist. You have a grudge against a guy because he was carrying a fucking rabbit and you won't tell anyone what the fuck that is about. All right? I understand that it fucking wigged you out or whatever, but that doesn't mean everyone here deserves to fucking die. It doesn't mean that because they were exposed to the shit we were exposed to, they are contagious and they deserve to die. We don't know. If we are taking that onto ourselves, then I want us to all fucking understand that. We are making that decision. We are making that call. Because it is not fucking obvious to me that everyone here is a foregone fucking conclusion. Hell, I'm not even sure she was. We came into her fucking apartment and she attacked us. Yeah, like you do when people invade your fucking home.
Yeah, when people invade your fucking home trying to walk out the front door of a Chinese restaurant.
She doesn't know where the fuck we came from, man. You are putting your experiences on every fucking other person, right? We came out into her fucking back room and we walk into her place. She hears people rustling around. She grabs a weapon and she attacks them. It's a fucking plausible thing. And don't tell me if someone busted into your apartment, wandered in out of the bathroom, and you have no idea how they fucking got there, you wouldn't shoot their fucking asses.
Meridian and Meridian alone. What's your alertness?
80.
Cool. Keep going.
Is there a better set of experience to project on this situation than my own when we've all seen the things that we've seen?
Fine. Merchant would have fucking pepper sprayed any single one of us who walked out of that bathroom. He's had his fucking finger on the trigger of that this whole fucking time. The point is, we gotta stop thinking about our experiences alone. These people, if we are saying they are contagious, we cannot leave that up to the fire. All right? If we are making that call, we can't leave it up to chance. If we are not making that call and we want it to look like a real accident, we could. Because I'll tell you what makes it a little suspicious is when they do an autopsy and people have wounds other than just fucking burns.
You guys hear that?
I don't hear shit.
Low growl.
None of you hear anything other than the sound of a clock, maybe?
Is it fucking you? What is it?
It's the third fucking time Meridian's heard something none of the rest of us have, and it's drawn us into something fucking terrible. So the third time Meridian has heard something, and it's probably the third time Meridian's gonna kill someone as a result.
Why don't you put a bullet in my fucking head, Miranda? How about that, all right?
Because it's not gonna...
You
What's
almost
that
got
gonna
a
solve?
fucking foot lost. I did us all a favor, all right? Relax. There's something around here.
Millstone, you hear it too now. You hear the sound of growl is even a little bit too intentioned, I think. It's like maybe purring, maybe presence, maybe a leopard, tiger, lion.
Maybe purring, maybe presence, maybe a lion, tiger, possibly a bear.
Yeah. Oh my.
Oh my!
It is certainly a large cat. You'd think, based on the sound that you're hearing, this kind of low rumble. It's not like a roar, like a growl. Was my point. It's more like just kind of a, I don't know. Yeah. Is there such thing as a cat presence noise? It's that. There is a cat. There's a large cat around here.
Are you implying that there's no way to locate it in any meaningful way directionally?
No, none.
It's just in the atmosphere, like the red light.
And to be super clear,
cool.
Neither Merchant nor Miranda hear that, but both Millstone and Meridian do. And one more thing. It's not really threatening. It's like you're being watched or stalked, but it's not like you're about to die. So it's, I guess, a little threatening, but it's not like we'd have to take action right now. It's like, what the fuck's going on, kind of stuff.
And we don't know where it's coming from.
No idea. And I mean, like, other than the infinite halls that continue deep into who knows where, there's really no spot here that's unsearched except for the little bathroom. And you were just in the bedroom. So
what's underneath the bed, though?
Well, I mean, I don't know I'm not sure if Millstone told you. I mean, you definitely saw the hand of Van Fitz come out all bloody and with a piece of glass. I think you saw that too. Marie was bleeding, but I don't know if Millstone told you what was under the bed.
It's under Van Fitz's bed, Millstone.
Fuck glass, I don't know.
I don't keep a piece of glass underneath my bed.
Yeah, neither do I. What's your question?
Is it coming underneath her bed? That noise.
Do you want to check?
Yeah.
What does Meridian think is under the bed?
Something that makes a low growl noise. I don't know. Maybe an animal hidden under there.
Okay.
I don't know why glass would be there, but yeah.
Why don't both you and Millstone roll sanity for me?
87 over 60.
87 over 60 and 3 under whatever the number is. Cool.
356.
Okay. Got it. All right. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Nothing happens. Keep doing your thing. All good. Everything's fine. You're gonna go look under the bed. Is that right, Meridian?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody going with him?
Flip the bed over.
Oh, you're okay. All right. You
Yeah.
Give anybody the chance to go. You're like, I'm going. Okay. All right. Cool.
I'm going.
Yep. Sure. Yeah. You go and you pick up the bed, and I don't know if you can flip the bed. Like, you're strong, but like you certainly are able to lift up the bed frame and mattress, and underneath there is there's like a child stuffed tiger that isn't making any noise. In fact, as soon as you lift the bed up, the noise stops for both you and Millstone. Like a stuffed tiger. Sorry, just to be clear.
Yeah. I figured.
Okay.
I figured. What the fuck was that glass thing then?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Great mention. No glass. 0. Maybe I should also note that the body that was brain blown out style leaning against the bed kind of got slumped over, and a bunch of like slopping sounds happened when, you make a picture in your own brains.
All right, let's get out of here. We're clearly burning down.
Meridian, do you draw anyone's attention to this or no?
Yeah. I'm like, there's a fucking tiger underneath this bed. There's no glass, and the growls stop. Also,
Stop for you too, Millstone. By the way, at the same time. Lift the bed up. No more.
You hear it, bro? You don't hear it anymore, right?
Nope. No glass under there. See, look. La La Land.
All right. I guess it's fucking walking time again. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let me just
I don't want anything to do with this.
Kick that stuffy, just to see if it's something else.
Okay. Yeah. Do you do that? When do you do that? Do you do that in view of Reed? Do you do that in view... Because everybody's kind of in the living room area. You're back in the bedroom, and Reed, I assume, kind of comes back in and says, oh, look, no glass. Do you do that after Reed leaves or when Reed's there?
No, like, I'll say, like, no glass, and just kick the stuffy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you feel like you kicked a book, like, inside the stuffed tiger.
Oh, what's this here?
You're going to, like, reach down?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it.
There's definitely no... I mean, as you, like, kind of feel up the tiger... There's no like...
As you grope the stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Show on the doll where you touched the doll.
That's right. As you kind of like, shift and shape the stuffing inside to figure out what's going on. There's a book in there for sure. And there's no like zipper or like, recent...
Just cut it open with the bayonet knife.
Okay. I think that's probably not something you could do totally quietly. So I think, unless you want to try to be stealthy, I'm pretty sure you all hear like Meridian.
Yeah,
open
you
stuff
hear the
down.
fabric break. I'm not being discreet.
All right,
I
got it.
don't care.
No problem. Okay, yeah, you beat that tiger. It is currently has 0 hit points now, and inside there is a book. The book is called A Horse by Degrees. It looks to be like an oversized, like hardcover medical textbook. The cover's
Inside a
got
stuffed
big
tiger.
inside the
All right.
It looks like the cover has these very large, elaborate diagrams. You're not sure if it's like anatomical. You assume so. Maybe animal anatomy. It would take you some time to kind of realize what this is. You'd have to take some time and like take a look at it. But very briefly, it seems like a medical text. Lots of anatomical figures, mostly all equine. There are a few that are maybe like you're not sure, bear horse hybrid kind of things. But it's certainly not anything that's like national treasure worthy. It just seems like a medical text. From your very
Pretty
brief, your brief.
It's nothing
inspection.
weird, just hybrid animals.
Yeah. It seems like you could do a couple of things. It seems like you could go back out the door you came in, or the door you came in, the Chinese restaurant door. You could walk down the halls of books that zigzag forever and ever, or you could do nothing and be here. And it seems like there's a lot of books and a lot of things that are interacting with you here, even when you're not actively searching out a mission. So those are your 3 kind of clear paths. I'm happy to, if you want to add a 4th, but to give some direction here.
What was that book you were looking at, Merchant? Before the horses.
It's a book. Maud Goes to the Masked Ball. It looks like a children's book. I don't know. There's just a lot of books that seem important. I don't know, but why are we talking about this? There's a dead body. You killed someone. I'm done with this house. I'm done with this. I'm done with you. We're leaving. We're leaving now. And I walk directly out of Van Fitz's apartment, and thinking back over the course of the last several minutes, the murder, going back to the images of the bookstore, and just imagining his own mother sinking into the ground, he charges into the halls and watches the halls become bookshelves, and mixing the bookstore with this experience of the night floors, and he just charges ahead. The community he felt with this team dying inside of him, just wanting to leave.
So you merchants, you are you're making your way into you're beginning your walk into the endless book halls. Okay, are we following?
Yeah, I'm certainly not staying in the corpse room. The red light corpse room with the fucked up books. No, I'm not. No, thank you.
Millstone and Meridian are also following.
We're
great.
following.
Super.
Sir.
Yeah, at first you see what looks to be a very tall funhouse mirror that is in front of you in this hallway that continues this way, and there's still books and bookshelves. Big funhouse mirror. And Merchant then after, I guess everybody sees this funhouse mirror, and Merchant, you begin walking toward the mirror, because to you, what you see in front of you is the smoking lounge. The rest of you see Merchant about to walk into a mirror. Do any of you call out, or do you just follow him?
I'm following him.
Okay.
The way we've experienced this in the past, like the most helpful thing here is to set an intention and follow it. Like I don't really know how it works, but that seemed to work better than just trying to understand like the physical layout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The moment that Merchant should walk into the mirror, it goes away, and you see Merchant is about to enter the smoking lounge. And taking liberties, maybe you see, Merchant just ahead of you, walking in the smoking lounge, and then you hear like, "Oh, you found your way back, Jesus Christ! So good to see you. Can I make you a drink?" He is sitting on the top of a high, like he's got his feet on the seat, and his rump is on the top of the back of a chair. He's kind of precariously sitting there reading what appears to be, yet again, fantastic erotica. Fantastical erotica, and maybe it's fantastic to him too. Who knows? He's got this book open, and can I make you a drink, or do you want to just come in and be shitty guests for a little bit? I don't know, what do girls drink? Is it maybe some tonic water, or maybe I don't know, like maybe some ice, just some plain ice, just the rocks on the rocks. Guess
Do you have a gin?
Do I have a gin? No. Reaches under the bar, pulls out 4 bottles of gin.
Great. I take
That's
one
me
and
too.
neck it.
Okay.
Reed's a gin guy.
Okay, all right.
Well,
They both,
so he'll take some.
he looks at both of you and is like, all right. And he starts making a shoemaker a drink. Looks like he's making you an old-fashioned.
It's a new fashioned.
Yeah, that's right. The brand new fashioned. One of them has a label. The one that Reed grabbed has a label. Labels 1934, which I think was for Prohibition time, but the label seems to be a little bit nicer. Oh no, it wasn't. Okay, well, either way, whether it was or wasn't, the label's a little nicer. It seems like it was either an actual brand sold in stores, or it was a brand that was pretty heavily trafficked and such that it was a nice label. The one that Miranda has, though, that one's it has like a very small, like a shopping store tag, like a hang tag that's been attached with something in the back of it, glue or resin or something like that. It just says, Mom's Gin number 435.
Great. I'm gonna face the bottle for a couple seconds, and then I'm gonna set it down and make a hell of a face about it, and then I'm just gonna sit on the floor with my back against the wall and pull the scrap of paper that I tore out of the book from my pocket and just go over it again.
Okay, got it. And Millstone is also, quote, necking, having some delicious gin and then leaving.
No, Millstone, he's going to drink gin and then he's going to drink gin.
Ah, understood. Gotcha.
Millstone's an alcoholic. If that hasn't been made clear at this point, Millstone is a bit of a degenerate at this point in his life.
I think we also have your adaptation to violence to talk about as well. But yeah, anyway.
I mean, I feel like that was talked about when I was like super cool with Van Fitz getting murdered. That was kind of the cue I was taking there with my reaction to that.
Okay. Sure.
And like basically browbeating Miranda for caring.
Okay. Oh, I gotcha. I see. Well, I gotcha. Okay. I gotcha.
I am actually an empathetic human being in real life.
Meridian will take another drag of his cigarette while looking at Miranda.
Still smoking that thing? Jesus.
Till the bud, my friend, till the bud.
It's been like 30 minutes.
It has. And there's still cigarette there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Roll sand.
Or it hasn't. Oh.
It's an American spirit, actually.
Hey, Mark, can I ask you a question? Sort of a prelude to me asking you anyway, so I don't really care about your fucking answer. What the fuck's up with all the children's books? You got porn here. Why are there so many fucking children's books around? I don't see no fucking kids here, and yet Van Fitz's apartment is full of them.
I don't know who the fuck Van
Is that
Fitz
just her?
I'm not. No, I'll cut you off. If you want to see kids in porn, there's somewhere else you can go.
No, that's not what I'm fucking talking about. I'm talking about, look, fucking A World Without Doors, Mod and the Masked Fuck Off or whatever.
Yeah, that's good. That was good.
These books about kids that like mirror this whole fucking situation with the place you're trying to get to, that Abigail's trying to get to. Do you know where those books come from? Is that like people writing about this place, or is it?
You're asking all the wrong questions. It doesn't matter. If you want.
All right, so you have an idea of what? I'm sorry for cutting you off, but you have an idea what the right questions are. Well, illuminate us, man. You're so much fucking smarter than us. Tell us what the fucking right question is.
Get out of here. All right. Whenever you come here, you do the same thing every time. You get all up in a huff, full angry, and you make your way out, and you run away, and we keep living here, and we keep doing the things we do, repeating every day the same as it was before, same as it is afterwards. And then you show up again, and you're just kind of annoying. You're in my space. So why don't you go away, leave us to do what we got to do, and just keep living our lives, okay? You're the ones who are intruding here. This is not your fucking scene yet. You just come on stage when you fucking want to. That's not how it works. You can't do this. So get out of here. Let us keep doing our thing here, and don't worry, you could go away. We'll be just fine here by ourselves, and we'll keep doing the shit we always do.
We gotta get to that ballroom.
I think I have not heard. That is a monumentally bad idea, if I had to guess.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
The ballroom that Abigail was trying to get to. It's on the way to where he wants to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, what the fuck are you talking about? We gotta get there. Are you out of your fucking mind?
We got our target. That's what we need to get.
He stands up.
You're standing in the target, man.
He stands up from his chair and starts to walk to the bar. He's like, to be honest with you, it's just bad acting. None of you are brave enough to do what has to be done to this building or to any of us. Starts making a drink.
What do you mean by that? What needs to be done?
Oh boy. Throws some ice behind him. I was so scared I threw my ice. Gets some more ice from under the bar. I don't know. What has to be done, Mr. Detective Man? What are you going to do? Get your gun? Oh, or did you already forget that no one cares about you? Finishes making his drink.
No, you said what needs to be done. You said those words.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
I don't know. You're right. He's like, yeah, you're right. I don't know what you need to do because you never do it. He sits back down. You just keep coming and coming and coming over here.
Your stasis is no more laudable than our intrusion in that case. If it's all just a cycle of us fucking you over and showing up, then you're also equally fucking complicit in just tugging your fucking pud all day long instead of actually doing shit. So just because we're ignorant or whatever, because no one will explain shit or because shit is inexplicable, doesn't mean we're not gonna fucking try, right? And maybe you gave up on trying or whatever because you've been through this enough times that it doesn't matter shit to you, but hey, we gotta learn our own fucking lesson, I guess. Do you know what happens if we nail the door to this place shut or if we burn down the McAllister?
Oh. Closes the book. I'm confused. Do you want to talk or do you want to go? Or do neither? Or go back?
I would like to understand what the fuck is happening, but I also have a fucking job which precludes understanding shit sometimes. So what I want to do is make sure no one else comes and bothers you. How about that? I want to close the door so no one else shows up and fucks with your space.
That sounds magical. Boy, oh boy. Yeah. What can I do for you? Toxic positivity. What can I do for you? Crosses hands in lap. You want to know what? What do you want to know what happens if you nail the door closed? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I tell you this much, you always ask that question, and I've always been here, and I'm pretty sure that burning shit down means that I die in a fiery flame death or whatever. So, I don't know. What does it do? Maybe you ought to give it a go and take a look. But you won't, because you never do.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll see you when I see you.
Reed, in this moment, is adapted to violence. He has heard from this man's own mouth that he cannot die, and he is so annoyed that it feels like pure essence of red-hot anger is trying to escape out of every pore of his skin. He can't listen to another fucking word, and he's so out of his goddamn mind. And he's so just blind to any concept of consequence. He just pulls out his pistol and he just fucking just lays fucking 3 right in his head.
All right, yeah, roll, sure. Roll firearms for the fun of it, but I doubt there'll be much that happens to your side from. I guess we're really rolling for instant death or death that's slightly less instant.
It's a 40 under 80.
Cool. Yeah, you just you lay into him. You put 1 behind one of his eyeballs and 2 to his chest, and he's no longer present. Very, very no longer present. And actually, as fucked as this is going to sound, that was some of the best aim you've ever had.
Cool. Reed doesn't take any time to allow the gravitas of the situation to set in. That was the D&D equivalent of checking a room for traps.
Okay.
And he's about to walk over to his corpse, and that air quotes for the air listeners and for the audio only listeners, and he's gonna just start fucking nudging the corpse with his foot, just kicking at his ribs.
Nice. Great. So let's everybody roll sand except for Reed. Don't roll sand, no problem. Oh yeah, and the other adaptation, yeah. Fail
from Miranda.
Ooh, and a fail from Merchant.
Adapted boys?
Okie dokie. Each of you takes, or loses, 4 sand. Sorry, not each of you. Sorry, the failures, to be clear.
Meridian will take some of Millstone's gin, the rest of the gin bottle and just have a little swig and have a little laugh at the same time, thinking that it's funny that he's the one that managed to keep it together compared to Millstone.
I'm not sure if I made it clear to you when you were taking the shots. You shot him as he was walking from the little bar back to his chair. So he's just kind of splayed out on the floor, this whole, kind of glistening hardwood floor of many, many moons ago. And yeah, I mean, like, he is stone cold. You give him a sternum rub, and I think most PD, most people that are in first responder, sternum rubs are phenomenally painful and almost impossible to not respond to. So short of him being, well, I mean, maybe I shouldn't put it like that. There's a lot of things that could be true, but based on all the understanding you have, kicking him and sternum rubbing, and you poke him in his eye, whatever you want to do. He's not moving.
I just do the sternum rub. I don't poke him in the eye.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't do that.
Sure. Well, my point is, whatever you want to do. He doesn't move, doesn't get up. Plenty of blood. I mean, all the things that should be that way are that way.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot quieter in here now, and you could hear there's a record playing. It's the song you heard in the park. You just never stop.
Shit,
never
the
stop.
Song that the okay, got it. Got to crack that one out of the vault.
You're gonna be so fucking pissed when we see him again.
It's fine. We could do it again.
And as
These bottles aren't high proof enough to set fire to this room. I would like to go get the paint thinner from the basement of the McAllister. I'm done. I'm not gonna fucking.
Oh, so that's what did it. We just had to kill the asshole. Got it.
No, I don't think I get to understand what the fuck is happening here. And if he says we've never managed to burn it before, we should try. Because I want him to be wrong. I want you to be wrong. I want him to be wrong. Fuck, I want Meridian and Merchant to be wrong. All of this feels wrong, and I would like it to just be proven wrong. So let's try and burn it. Why not?
All right. Happy to be of service.
Eat shit.
okay. Boy, oh boy, you can feel the camaraderie.
Millstone poops in his hand and eats it.
Slams it.
That's the content warning we had to fucking give and we didn't, dude. Holy
And that's
shit.
where we'll end.
No.
That's
the
cliffhanger. Will he eat shit or not?
No, it's not even that. It's in the middle of eating shit, and that's where we'll end. Like, what will we pick up next week? That's so stupid. Okay. I gotta take a sec. That's so wow. Okay, well, with the plan to torch the building, I think we should definitely save the quote, "So that's what it took. We decided to kill the asshole." Got a t-shirt. Sell that to our fans. Let us know in the comments below. Anyway, you make your way down to the basement of the McAllister, and as you exit the roof/smoking lounge, air quotes for our air listeners, you definitely see that there is the sun that is the sun that is definitely set, but is almost under the horizon. The dusk is creeping on. You make your way down the stairs to the basement. In the basement, there are 3 kind of large buckets of linseed oil. This is not like a military armaments where, like, it's not like all that. However, it is highly flammable, so a decent way to start a fire, certainly. And I'm not sure if any of you have demolitions. I suppose that
yes,
that Meridian does. What is your demolitions?
40.
That's pretty good. Okay, I would assume you're working together a little bit, right? Like maybe you're saying,
yeah, for sure.
So why don't you roll either demolition?
I'm totally involved in this process as well. Like whatever help they need. And just for flavor, I've got a criminology of 80, and I am in no way trying to be discreet or trying to cover our tracks at all.
Okay. All right. So it sounds... Sorry. I do want to have a question about that. But Meridian, I'll either let you roll demolitions or like military science, or I kind of want to have an idea of what your thoughts are as far as burning. Top down, bottom up. Are you going to burn the wood fixtures? Are you going to make a pile of wood in the middle of the main floor? Like, what's your thoughts? So roll.
Well, I have military science 80 for land. I'm assuming that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
78 close.
Out of 80?
Out of 80.
Okay.
78.
Okay.
Wood, obviously. Have
and your
electrical
character,
panel.
Sorry, your character knows, you may not know, and I don't really know either. I'm not that fancy, but I am going to assume something like Maybe you talk to Merchant. Maybe you grab a couple of gas lines out of the wall, rip them, and have them kind of near the area that you're going to have the wood burning, or maybe you decide to grab a bunch of books. Yeah, right. But even the gas lines may be assistance in a blowy-uppy kind of way. Who knows? So yeah, you all working together, and you said you're just like
I'm not actively trying to implicate us. I'm just like, do not give a fuck.
Miranda, the dog,
knock yourself out.
The dog has walked up to you and is kind of nuzzling your hand, whimpering a little bit, kind of like giving himself pets.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey boy, what's up? I give him a pet. I say, hey, how you doing?
He's got that ruffled matted
Is he like trying to lead me anywhere, or
no? Maybe he's general concern.
I'm gonna pet him and I'm gonna look at everybody and go, hey, but let's go check on some people. I'm gonna go knock on Van Fitz's door and see if there's a response.
You all see Heather say, let's go check on some people, and kind of like pet nothing as she walks up the stairs and goes to Van Fitz's room. You're all still working on this fire. You get multiple. Well, sorry. Is Millstone doing anything other now to hide, or is he still just unabashedly making it look like it was intentional?
Millstone, the walls of this place are wooden, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm.
It's wood walls. Yeah,
so wooden interior.
Millstone grabbed a pail of linseed oil, and he is now walking down the halls, up the stair, down the hall, and basically just taking the lip of that linseed oil container and just holding it up as high as he can on the ceiling and just kind of like letting it sort of
cascade down the
meniscus
wall and
crest it, and he's just kind of like dragging them along the walls.
Sounds good. Great. Great. Mark this in your character journals for later. So basically that all happens. You all start doing things. We'll say that, you're all helping each other. Hey, let's try to make sure we're doing upstairs and downstairs, and make sure there's like good paths if we can. Try to get it in the walls, not just on the walls. All these different things. So I guess a couple of minutes that you have to talk to Van Fitz, or Van. You said you're working up there. You're going to her room. Is that correct, or are you going somewhere else?
I'm gonna go knock on the door to Van Fitz's room and see if she's dead here too.
You hear the sound of a soap opera inside.
Nice.
No one comes to the door.
I bang on the door loudly again, and if there's no response, I sort of sigh, stand out front of the door, and I pull the like scrap of paper that I pulled out of A World Without Doors, and I read the little passage standing there as Millstone walks behind me, slopping paint thinner and linseed oil on the wall.
Okay.
The water was cold, a firm hand pulling her down into the deep. The world beyond the surface shimmered, dissolving into streets with no exits. Windows that never opened, a city of restless people with eyes full of music they could never stop hearing. The phantom watched from above, its mask glinting like polished bone. Do you hear it, little one? And Abby did. The song was in her veins, in her thoughts, in the pulse behind her eyes. She had to stop it. She had to stop it before she too became part of the dance. And I just read that, and I'm like, what the fuck was that supposed to... Fuck, Van Fitz, I'm sorry if you're stuck in this. I don't know. And I just gonna walk away and go find another container of accelerant and start dumping it around Abigail's room where all the stuff is glued to the walls.
Okay. You walk away and you hear the sound of paper sliding on the floor. You turn behind and a very small hand-cut paper heart slides out under the door. And then just as soon as you see it, Reed shakes some stuff on it, steps on it, and when you look, it's not there anymore.
All right, well, I guess. Fuck. I slump down into the basement, grab another can, drag it into Abigail's room, and start pouring it over the hardened adhesive fucking collage on the walls.
Okay, got it. Yeah, as you do that, you see that the pail you picked up is that one that you saw earlier. It says, "For Sammy, pick up." And the note falls off and hits the floor. All of you spend the next, 5 or 10, maybe even 15 minutes going as hard as you can. You empty these big pails of linseed oil, and I guess Reed has a lighter, so You have that. You also find some, matches or whatever. Like there's probably match.
I mean, I could make an electrical fault happen.
I like to imagine that Reed made his way downstairs, and I'm assuming there's some sort of regrouping that happens before we actually light the place because we need to make an exit plan. And Reed has got a cigarette hanging out of the corner of his mouth. Any last words?
Good riddance to garbage.
A eulogy for the McAllister, anyone?
I don't give a shit about this fucking building, but there's 4 people in here who got caught in something that they didn't deserve to get dragged into. Same as us. So, sorry, I'm a little preoccupied. Whatever happened to those people, they were fucking people once, not whatever they are now. Maybe they're still people. Maybe we're not people. I don't know. Fucking all poetry is dumb, right?
What we are right now is we're extensions of the group, right? We're fucking agents. And we're doing exactly what we need to be doing.
Yeah. Cold comfort.
After you. And Reed kind of motions to the front door.
We should probably try to exit not through the front door. I mean, the cops may have posted someone around.
There's a back door you can use.
Yeah, just take the back door. I mean, it's not much, but
sure. And so you all exit the McAllister. Who exits first? I mean, Merchant's dex is highest, so if there is a competition that ensues, we'll say that he manages to sneak in front. So you exit, Merchant. Then I guess if are both of you trying to get out next, or this is going to be important at some point. So I want to make sure, I want to understand.
Miranda doesn't really care. Like, she doesn't want to be here, but like, I don't know. She's not going to let anyone stay behind. So maybe she like lingers for a minute and like, again, looks at the doors to the other apartments. Like, it's not like they were that quiet. People were like shouting at each other in the halls and no one came out of their rooms. Like, do they know? Is this like just part of it for them? She like stares back at Millstone with his cigarette after the other 2 have left. Maybe like 30 seconds, a minute, just quiet. She goes, "Come on, Mill. Let's write a report."
All right. Well, someone's got to light the bitch, so, if y'all want to take a step out, happy to do the honors.
Unless you want me to be clever about it. Enjoy.
The very, very grotesquely green that the door is painted, the back door, is something that lives with each of you. And the way the door squeaks, the way the door mocks you as you leave, you weren't strong enough, other than just coming here to destroy. And for some reason that door lives in your mind and is the thing you see from all angles when you dream. Meridian, are you catching a cab? Are you trying to ride the bus, the train? What are you doing to get home?
I have no home.
Great. Oh, yeah. Right. Great. That's awesome.
I'll just wash the blood off my clothes and face.
And maybe start
walking
back to the jail. Wow.
Walking back to prison.
Okay. And Miranda, the door kind of has this delay in it, like it's closed too many times, and hits the door jam. You hear that sound, that smack, and are you just gonna catch a subway back home?
No, I'm waiting for.
Oh, you're waiting for Mill.
Like,
okay. All right.
I'm gonna go sit on a dumpster and wait.
Okay, great. Yeah, Millstone. There you are, all alone again. But this time it seems like you have the strength to do what has to get done, and that's a small victory, I think. Certainly, it is an event. And with that,
just takes one final drag. Fuck you. Throws it in the door. Takes a second to make sure it catches.
Oh yeah.
Closes the door behind him.
Oh yeah.
And walks out.
Great. The door kind of hits you, has this weird delay in it, but nothing important. You see Miranda is there now, and Miranda, you see Millstone, orange light coming through the cracks in the old door behind him, and but you both make your way out. How's Miranda getting home?
I'm walking back to Midtown. I should take the train, but I need the time. You grabbing a trade, Mill?
Nah. I think I'm gonna walk home tonight. I could use the air. or whatever.
All right, man. Watch the bridge. People drive like nuts on that thing.
I'll be fine.
I know. Just last time I did this, I left some people behind, and she like gestures towards the McAllister. So, I don't know. Not used to this. Having people to say goodbye to after one of these.
Well, maybe it's not goodbye, Certainly doesn't feel like one.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. Won't we?
You see that the fire has climbed out one of the front windows, and as you look toward where the fire is now, it's just kind of dripping out onto a sign for a new cafe called Au Revoir. And you see and hear people beginning to scream, beginning to, oh my God, there's a fire. You hear sirens kind of start far, far away, signaling that you need to leave now-ish.
Time to get the fuck out of here?
That is the idea, yeah.
As each of you...
Safe travels, Miranda.
Doubt it.
As I drop my duffel bag back in the locker area where I got it at first, I'll go through a little payphone and dial Agent Marcus's number.
It rings and rings and rings and rings, and on the 6th ring, just as you're like, picks up, yeah.
We went Scorched Earth, sir. It's done. Tell him to come pick me up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Where are you?
And we'll tell them the address of the locker area.
Yeah, all right. Hangs up.
And I'll sit on the sidewalk patiently, waiting, looking at the night sky.
Yeah, each of you now makes your way back home. Probably on your travels back, or maybe if you're meridian on the sidewalk, each of you spends at least some amount of time thinking about if you're actually going home. If you're dead, alive, something else. And behind you, the McAllister is just, it's, maybe you take pleasure in its pain, its groaning. You hear the sound of, fire engines and sirens, and, it burns very bright. You can see it from, I guess, everywhere but the subway. You can certainly see it. And the way that it's on fire, all of New York's lights kind of just pale in comparison to the preeminent scorched earth. You're not even sure if its collapse signals the end. You don't really know how it ends. You don't know that anything is real except that you at least feel like you survived, and even that, you're not sure. Soldiers get to go home when the war is over. You don't have that luxury. This never really felt like a war. This is like a stage play that nobody auditioned for, a dream that you inherited from somebody else. And when the curtain dropped, you were not applauded. You were dismissed. Lots of time passes. Time, many, many years, stretch out between the moment that you will always remember that green door hitting you, or being awkwardly delayed, or the sound it makes, or the orange light coming through the cracks. Yeah, many years, 20 years will stretch between that moment and the moment that you each see each other again. And on that day, on that quiet day, when the gears turn again and your number comes up, each of you in your respective time and place, you find a newspaper, an old newspaper. Maybe it's in your mailbox. Maybe it's in your back seat. Maybe it's waiting on the kitchen table and you have no memory of putting it there. But you see the headline, and it says, "Mysterious Door Found Among Museum's Archives. No records, no key, no origin." Article goes on to say that there was writing etched across the warped wood, and in a hand you almost recognize, says, "We all dance, hand in hand, until the end of the world." Almost psychically, you look up, and then someone knocks on your door. And we'll see you next week. We'll see 20 plus years of time next week.
Hell yeah.
McAllister get burned. Ouch. Hot fire. McAllister.
End chapter 1.
Yeah, that's right. Act 1.
Beautifully.
It's complete.
Well
Bye,
done.
Hawk.
Well
Bye.
done, everyone.
Later days. Yeah.
Peace?
Feels good about
Question mark?
Upward intonation? Cool. Nice. So thank you all for joining us. As you can imagine, next is chapter 2. And chapter 2 is very good, as is all of this book. So very excited to begin to run that one. And I don't know. Do the Patreon thing if you want. That makes me happy. It makes Ty happy. It even makes Hawk, Angie, and Charlie happy. So like, that's 5 happies for the price of one patron. I don't know. I didn't graduate college, but if I did, and you graduated,
or just subscribe. If we're looking for we would love if you're someone who listens to our show. Here's what I would love to see. See, as fledgling creators, we sometimes as a new show, it's hard to gauge if anybody is actually listening to it. So what we would love is if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube, if you're someone who regularly listens but you haven't engaged with us yet, remember, we are highly engaged with our stuff. We love to see comments on our stuff. Leave a comment on Spotify, leave a rating, Apple Podcasts, YouTube comments. We respond to all of it. Mm-hmm. Come say hi to us. We have a Discord.
Hop in the Discord.
If you talk to us and you would like to be part of our Discord, ask for a link and we'll send you a link.
Hella free.
And come hang out with
Hella
us.
Free.
You know, be a part of our little thing that we're making here. We love you. Love us back.
I love you. I don't love you.
I love you.
Andy,
enough for both.
Andy loves you. And you love him, Andy? Didn't say he loves you. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, good. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Y'all do the best. Adios, amigos. I should probably stop recording, right? LOL. Before we sign off, I want to take a moment to talk about something very close to my heart. This podcast is about exploring darkness and fear, but in real life, those feelings can be overwhelming. I want to remind you that if you're feeling lost, lonely, or struggling, you don't have to face it alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're in the U.S., you can call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, for free, confidential support 24/7. Wherever you are, there are resources and there is hope. You matter and your story matters.